4, 3.
When you walk away, no cool down back, bay. Oh, we on your ass. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Listen, I am so happy we are back and kicking. We booming for another week. No cooldown episode 18. You know what I'm saying? I just for the vocals alone, I need y'all to rate this 5 stars off the top of the dome. I really need you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to rate that for real. But anyways, we are here. We are here for another episode of No Cooldown. We are with our podcast partner in crime, One Easy Weneth. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. I honestly cannot complain.
Oh man, I'm about to say it's been a busy week a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, we picked up a little bit.
It did pick up towards the end. It started off busy, then it was like quiet, and then it's like a mixed bag because it averaged out to a good week.
Yeah, nah, most definitely, bro. But there was definitely a good handful of stories to pick out from. We had to cut some from the full mix, man. We just got to get the, you know what I'm saying, the best and brightest from the week. It's a lot of shit. But before we get into all the heavy stuff, man, let's warm up a little bit. But is you ready? You ready for this?
I am ready.
Let's get this money then. Let's warm up a little bit. In cool but slightly disrespectful news, a Brazilian speedrunner streamer has somehow found a method to skip the entire ladder sequence in Metal Gear Solid 3. And after getting some of the inputs right, basically, like, you go to the bottom of the ladder and you gotta put some certain inputs and you span it a little bit, and then Snake starts to T-pose next to the ladder, and he just shoots all the way up to the top, and it just like pushes you on in like two minus minutes. So as a speedrunner, I guess, watcher, this is really cool. But I have some other thoughts as a purist of that scene. I enjoy that. But what's going on with that, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and like that scene was like, at first when I first saw it, I thought it was like dumb, but then I was like, but now I think back to it as like a very fond memory, because I was like, why am I here? And then I was like the music starts playing, you're just like, man, this is kind of like a cool moment. Like the game kind of like froze in a sense. Seeing a speedrunner get past that, I really enjoy speedrunners. They're like, honestly, that is in my mind, when you think of like best gamers period, I think of speedrunners. Mostly just because like the stuff that they pull off is crazy. The way that they just like break down or even like understand the game completely different than most people. But it definitely is sad to see, like, not sad, but like every time I feel like people were like expecting like, oh well, now he's gonna have to climb the staircase. Now it's like, oh, all right, cool. I guess that's just gone. So it's a weird way of experiencing the game.
100%. I saw it. I was like, yo, there's no way, bruh. I'm like, listen, that's cool that y'all found this, but let's not disrespect the moment that is this ladder scene, bro. I'm not gonna lie here. Let's be honest. Like, for me personally, this is like my probably top 5 or 6 favorite video game songs in history. Like, Snake Eater is like good as shit. And I feel like it's a slight disservice to Cynthia Harrell and everything this team has built to make that damn song work, in my opinion. But I understand, for the sake of speedrunning, for the sake of getting there, you know what I'm saying, they had to do what they do, you know, to get an exploit out, which I've never seen anything like this before, ever. So, I mean, it was cool. It was cool for sure. But I'm just like, dang, bro, this is a classic. It's a classic. We can't just be erasing the GOATness that is this song. Bro, don't make me get the vocals out this episode, bro. This cannot turn into a singing episode, bro. This cannot be a singing podcast. Just know it's fire.
It's such a funny moment, because it's also like, I can't even really be mad at the speedrunners either, because the amount of time they put into just one specific game, it's like, if anybody's allowed to skip or just jump over stuff, it's speedrunners, because the amount of time and effort they put into these games and like how much they've played these games, they've probably been playing this game for hours, maybe even years, perfecting, like, finding exploits. It's pretty insane. Shout outs to speedrunners, man. They're a cut above the rest.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, precision, the precision, and again, the like, raw speed, of course, like you have to do certain things with to, again, try and beat world records is actually insane. I don't know when it was, but like a couple weeks ago, I just looked at some random, I think it was a Batman Arkham City speed run, and I was just like, bro, how the hell did you even like think of getting up to like this spot to avoid this fight, that spot to avoid this fight, getting to this little blind spot so you can shimmy in the map? You know what I'm saying? Get up to this thing. Like the thought process to even find all this stuff and then perfect it in one run is crazy. And again, sometimes things don't go to plan and they just improvise on the spot to still get a faster time. Like shout out speedrunners, but hey yo, for this one, I feel a little bit disrespected. That's all I'm saying. That's just me. It's my personal gripe though. On to the last story of the warm up. We're gonna keep it nice and sweet, man. There's a lot of stuff we gotta get into. It seems like this ugly topic is rearing its head more frequently than in times past. Let's talk about cheaters, y'all. And not the one your ex probably was. We're talking about gaming cheaters, and specifically from this week and how a COD pro player, number 2 in the world in Call of Duty Vanguard, actually was caught using cheats live on his stream. Now, the streamer then went on to publish a statement to claim he only used cheats to gain camos, but many claim that there's more, more fishiness to that statement than we, generally think at face value. So, I mean, thoughts on this and, just a wave of cheaters we've been seeing as of late, just on games in general.
Cheating in video games is just super fucking whack. Just full stop. I don't even like for any purpose. Cheating is just whack. As a content creator or like a pro player in general, it doesn't make sense to me that you would risk using cheats for camos. Like, I just feel like that's stupid. You're a pro player. If anybody should be able to get these camos, it should be you. And for you to be like, hey, I was just using it to get the camos. It's like, bro, you play the game all the time. You tell me you can't use a stream to be like, we're gonna go try to get the diamond blah 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 camo. Like, man, I don't believe it. Like, that's not what you like. There's no way. If you are a pro player in any scene and you care,
active.
you care, like you're active, you care about being part of the scene, you wouldn't use cheats for something as corny as camos. You can buy camos. I don't understand like what was the purpose of it. And you just messing up your bag essentially for that's just, I don't believe it. Like it would have been better to me if he would have been like, hey, I do it like the one kid who was I think it was like FaZe Jarvis who got banned from Fortnite. When he was using cheats, he was like, I just use it for like content creation. I don't use it for like that. I understand that way more than being like, I'm doing it for in-game skins. Like, no, the Call of Duty skins are not that gas for you to risk your whole career. I'm sorry, bro, but you're lying. There's no way.
Bro, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I know this man was feeling the pressure. He was like, nigga, what the fuck? What should I even say? Oh gosh, I was using it for camos. Yeah, camos. Yeah, bro. Like, nobody cares about camos. I just want to grind it to look good. Nah, bro. Nah. To be number 2 on COD means that you are like, again, you're playing this game in, day out. You're breathing, eating, sleeping shit in this game. So your stats would have to bleed in to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was using them damn cheats, bro. Let's be honest. He was using them damn cheats. And this, again, general discourse, if you're a cheater, if you're using cheats, this is not a novel thing. You're whack. You whack. That's bottom line. Again, and specifically for multiplayer online games, you're whack. If it's single player cheats, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever you do, like GTA cheats, who cares? That's whatever. We're just making a distinction. But for online settings, this hasn't been a new thing. People have been, doing boosting lobbies and using hacks and using certain things on, from way back, from a decade ago, and probably even further. You know what I mean? So this isn't a novel thing, but the speed and rate at which is like people are, getting caught with it only tells me that this problem has gotten exponentially worse. Like, people are just so y'all lame. And this also plays into last week's conversation when we were talking about hot takes, and you had the one about gamers don't want to be better. Gamers don't want to actually get better. They just want to beat their opposition. They just want to beat people. And I'm just like, that's another perfect branch off and tie into that, because I'm like, yo, y'all don't have enough, again, mental fortitude to just sit down and actually get good at the game. You know what I mean? You would rather go on a website, pay this money right here, get aimbot, for off the rip, than rather train and actually get good at the game. You play every day. Yeah. And on the stance of like, okay, you're cheating for content creation, I don't buy that either, honestly. If I don't like that type of shit either. I see where you're coming from with that type of argument. I'm like, that's still whack.
I'm not validating it. I say like, that's more believable. What you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, even though I wouldn't give a fuck if it's more believable. Yeah. The fact that you're saying, oh, I'm using cheats for content creation, I'm just like, yo, so that tells me again, you're not it's sufficient enough.
You're not that guy.
You know, or, you know what I'm saying? You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. If that's the case, outsource your gameplay to somebody else who is that guy, and then go say, hey, yo, this gameplay was by such and such, blah, blah, blah. Go check out their channel, onto the video. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally so much, like, so many ways around it, but people choose to cheat just to keep their name up and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, who cares? Like, honestly, at that point in your, you know, in your content creating career, if you're that big, I feel like people wouldn't care if, you know what I'm saying, you're doing that well or bad, or within a certain skill set, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. So I'm just like, cheats in any format, especially in any online game format, is just stupid as hell. Yeah. And it violates the game's terms of service. Most likely, if you're using cheats, it's gonna be against some type of code of conduct that the game, you know, that the game states. So don't use it. Yeah. Stop being a bum. If you can't get gameplay, go find somebody that can do it, bro. There's plenty, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of other people who don't have the craziest gameplay, but they still gonna post it because it's their stuff. I commend them way more than the cheaters who have, like, you know, 50 kill, clear a lobby, 90 kill games and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, stop being a bum ass. Stop being a bum ass motherfucker. Like, that's all there is to it, really. Yeah. Like, and I hope more and more y'all get rooted out. I hope Kai's cheat system would actually work. Ricochet, please, we need you. Please, just. Like, we gotta keep getting these boys out of here, because they think they the shit, and then they honestly have cheats, and people will bold-faced lie and say, oh yeah, no, I was using different camos, or no, I don't got cheats or whatever, blah blah blah. And again, imagine if these people are getting sloppy. Just imagine how many people are not getting sloppy in the content space, you know what I'm saying, and are covering their asses with cheats, and that we don't know.
Yeah, it's really interesting because a lot of people. Well, first things first, and this is just like a rule I have for life. I think that the corniest people in video games in general, outside of like all the horrible things that are happening in the space, but like when it comes to video games in general, the two wackest people to be on any team with is a cheater and somebody who leaves the game, or especially if it's a team-based game. So like if we're playing Overwatch and you just decide to quit halfway through the match because you don't think you're gonna win in a ranked match, you're literally the worst person in the world. Cheaters, way worse than the second. But it's interesting because it's like the amount of harm you kind of do to the space and to yourself. Like, there's just no dub, really. Like, it doesn't make, like, you're not winning, so there's no way you should feel good. The only reason I can see people cheating is for content creation, but then there's a bunch of some of the most viral clips that some of these creators go through is when people find out that they're cheating. Because I know in COD, almost the funniest videos that I always look for or share or whatever, the ones that always go viral are, this cheater got caught midway through a match and his bullets don't do damage to people. And those are the funniest thing ever. And what's really funny is that creator now got exposed. He went viral. And if you're anybody with a brain, you're probably just not going to watch him, because like you just realize that this dude is trash. And there's so many ways of making content. Like you said, you don't even need to play games. You could do, like, I watch, I think it's Daltouche, I think his name is, the Apex player. And some of his TikToks are him spectating people in the lobby and him commentating over it. And it's funny. And I'm like, this is a great way of, like, he probably doesn't want to play another game right now. He probably wants to just chill. So I'm gonna just make fun of these people playing this lobby right here. And it's a good way of, like, content. Like, I could see a lot of people being like, hey, if you're in my community, send me your gameplay. I will comment over it, and like you could do a whole thing. It's like, I'm like, these ideas are so easy, so simple, but instead you paid money.
Don't give them too much though.
No, I don't want to give them. I don't want to give them too much.
You need to put it. You need to put it behind that streamer school, bro. You need to put that subscription service on that.
Easy Masterclass. That's what I need to start up.
Let's go, baby.
It's like you guys don't even like sit there and think for like 2 seconds how to be content creators, or 2 seconds how to just, like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense. Like, the first thing you think of is, let me throw money at the problem to fix the problem, and then now look at you. You're looking stupid. But hey, stupid is as stupid does, I guess.
It's facts. And it's double whammy for pro players, because they're like, yo, the most likely case is people are coming to your channel because you're a good player. They're coming to your channel because you're one of the best. And it's majority for that reasoning. Now, if you're entertaining or whatever, and you have that mix, cool. That means you're probably going to branch out your content beyond just, 800 kill gameplay on this map in Vanguard. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the fact that this guy here, he literally, his whole MO is, I'm one of the best COD players, number 2 in the world on Vanguard, and I'm just playing games. You know what I'm saying? Come check out how I play. And you get caught cheating? That's a bad look any way you slice it, bro. It's a bad look, man. And You know, good riddance if that's the case, bro. Should have never gone up sites and bought that shit. Tough. It's tough.
That's on you, man. You made the decision.
That ass is on you. All right, man. That is the warm up. Let's get to the main stories of the day. Starting with oh, this is gonna be a fun and unnerving conversation as well. So this past weekend was the official celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I can't stop smiling through this whole statement. And an event was held in Japan to showcase many of the festivities for the occasion. Now, with the timing, of course, a celebratory 20th anniversary trailer was released with a couple of announcements. An update on Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, which is a mobile game. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, which is a brand new mobile VR Pokemon Go style game with co-op capabilities, like a gacha game. It looks actually pretty interesting. And out of thin air, Kingdom Hearts 4 just drops a trailer at the end of this video. So this marks the beginning of a new story arc for Kingdom Hearts 4 called The Lost Master Saga, with an older Sora waking up in the middle of a new world called Quadratum that looks heavily based on real life and a combo of different Japanese cities / locale / Final Fantasy franchise. Like it's a weird mix. And we got some shots of Sora in action looking really beautiful in a UE4 in-engine trailer with a hint of Donald and Goofy at the end. And we are back on the way towards a new Kingdom Hearts mainline title. So there's a lot of shit to break down. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of shit. But I want to stay at the highest level. Let's get the bird's eye view. Let's get your thoughts on what we're thinking about Kingdom Hearts 4 and the drop and the release. What's going on with you, Wen?
So how do I say this? Phone game, cool, I guess. Mobile players are probably really excited. Will I download it? Maybe. I did play X Union, or I hope I'm saying it correctly.
Kingdom Hearts Key Union, whatever. Union Cross Union Cross.
So I did play that. And I got pretty far into it, but then like I realized I wasn't reading. Same. So then like I was like, I'm losing a lot of the story, so I'd rather just
play missions now.
Yeah, I was like, I'd rather just watch a YouTube video or whatever. But for the people who are playing, because it was a pretty fun game. Shout out to y'all got get more content, and it's been what since like five years in the making, that game. It feels like it's been Union. I feel like it came out like 5 years ago or something like that. And it's the finale.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yes. Shout outs to them. New mobile game, sure. Am I gonna go outside with my phone again? No, this isn't the Pokemon Go era anymore. I don't even like going outside in general.
I'm about to say, wait, two things. One, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross came out in September 3rd, 2015, so it's even longer than that.
Yeah, like 7 years.
It's been a long ass time. Yeah, 7 years, which is wild. Fucking the more numbers, god damn it. But anyways, the second one is the one note to that Missing Link game was that you can actually just play in your house. Like you didn't have to go anywhere to like do that thing. So they did a workaround. They did a workaround for that style of games, which is again perfect for me. I was like, I'm not going outside to do that stuff. Again, bro, Pokemon Go, they took all of my attention. You know what I'm saying? They did all that stuff and then it came and went. But they have a workaround for it, which is cool.
Yeah, it's dope. Again, depending on how fun the game is, it might get some spins. Who knows? I might play. I don't know. I'm not against playing games on my phone, but I got a Switch and I don't really leave the crib, so it's like
it is what it is. Yeah.
Now to the meat and potatoes. I wish they didn't say anything. As like I really wish they didn't announce anything. I wish they would have just did the phone stuff. Maybe some like Switch updates on the games coming out. I don't know if this was a good call. And the reason I say this is because if you're as old as me or older, you remember when they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2013, and we were all gassed because we saw in-game footage, we saw a little bit of gameplay, everything was in Japanese, but we knew it was Square Enix's Japanese company. We all thought that this game was pretty ready to go. So when Kingdom Hearts 3 actually dropped in 2019, obviously a lot of us were like, we waited 6 years since this announcement and it did not meet up to the expectations that a lot of us wanted. I'm not saying Kingdom Hearts 3 is a bad game. I'm not even saying it's the worst in the series because I think the gameplay wise, it's one of the best. It's honestly, the formula is amazing. I have my own gripes. That's a whole nother. We don't have time to talk about all things I don't like about Kingdom Hearts 3. But again, good game. Check it out if you haven't. It wasn't worth 6 years of hype. That's what I'm getting at, and that's what I'm afraid of when they announced Kingdom Hearts 4, magic in the making. That isn't even a year. That's not even like, that isn't even a time. Like they literally just said, we still have jobs over here. Like we got work to do. Like, cool, bro. You didn't have to tell me that. Like that's the thing is, I really hate overextended hype trains. It's one of the things I hate the most, because when you hype it up too much, it's gonna lead to crunch. Like, it's going to lead to crunch. Unless the game is ready to go, it is going to lead to crunch if you're hyping up the game this much. If they would not have said anything this year and said something maybe next year or when the game is at least 1 year out, I would have been fine. Am I excited for a new Kingdom Hearts game? Yes. Does this make me want to go buy the DLC for 3? Yes, because that's actually one of the main reasons I didn't play the DLC for 3, is that I was like, I don't know when the next Kingdom Hearts game is going to be, so I'm not going to touch it until it's somewhat soon, because I don't want to play it, get hit with a cliffhanger, and then be like, all right, well, here it is.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, because I remember when 3 came out, I beat it as fast as I could to not get spoiled, but then I saw how fast the talking of Kingdom Hearts went down, so I was like, they're not going to spoil the DLC because nobody's talking about this game anymore. So I'm waiting. I might get it on PC eventually or on my PS5. We'll see what happens, because I own the games on PlayStation, but I don't have a PS5. I like that they're making a Kingdom Hearts 4. I just hope that they learn from their mistakes and that this isn't going to take us 7 years to get.
I will say, because I'm about to be a Kingdom Hearts show today, boy. If you ain't heard it yet, I will say that the situation that happened with Kingdom Hearts 3 is very disappointing. Of course, I 100% agree with you. Did not live up to expectations. It was a game that fizzled out way quicker than I thought it was, honestly. Like, I played it what? I think I played it 3 times, and then like I just left it. I just left it for like a good year. I haven't touched it since like what? I want to say maybe a year and a half ago.
I played it
like it's been a long time.
And then when critical mode, I tried to play it again, but like one of the issues, which was the cutscenes always happening, really made me not want to play the game anymore.
Yeah, that's also fair. And there's a lot of talking points, because I mean, there's so much plot that has to get resolved in there. You know what I'm saying?
Again, different. Yeah, different.
Yeah, it's different video. But yeah, I feel like the case of Kingdom Hearts 3's development cycle was really, really rough, in the sense that, okay, teams just got split for Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy Versus 13 being remade into Final Fantasy 15, and then working on Kingdom Hearts 3. So the teams got split. There was different focuses. Nomura went to one way, the Osaka team went to this way, and Taiyasu was working on that stuff. So again, focus diverged a little bit on one side, and then they switched engines, which is also another major like setback that kind of fucked them up. Like, they went from Luminous and then they went to Unreal Engine 4. So that, I feel like that was, again, 2 of the biggest reasons why that setup was 6 years. Now, it's completely their fault that they announced it then, and then they had to go through the things that they did. I'm not saying they should get a pass for their advertisement cycle or their marketing cycle, because it's an L in and of itself. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's tough, bro. Like, it's my favorite series of all time. Again, Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, probably because of, again, just how it connects to all the, lore and stuff like that and all that stuff. But there was an L there, 100%. I feel like it's different now, because it's a little bit more focused on this, at least from my perspective. I see there might be a little bit more focus. There's only probably 3 major projects that are going in the line. And I feel like in order of sequence that is being worked on is the next Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy 16, and then Kingdom Hearts 4. It's literally these 4. Now, with the announcement, I'm not mad that they dropped it now. Could I have waited? 100%. I could have waited another 8 months to a year to hear something from Kingdom Hearts 4, the next mainline title. But I feel like I still would take this, because I feel like they would be in a better spot now that they have been from before, from the last cycle, because they're well into UE4. They have been partnering with Epic over Unreal stuff. Unreal Engine 5 is out, so they have a lot of support on that side. And I feel like the major question mark, which is okay, what's their development state? How comfortable with in-game engines in that development process? It's settled. The ship has settled on that front. Now they're just developing the game and making stuff work from that point. I personally feel like it's gonna be still like a good three years out, maybe. It could be less, it could be more, I don't know. But I think the turnaround will be quicker than we saw with Kingdom Hearts 3. That's my personal opinion on how stuff's gonna go. Because of, again, just the differences between back then and back now and right now, and where Square Enix is at with development, where Square Enix is at with upcoming projects, and where especially Tetsuya Nomura is in his lines of focus. I'm pretty sure he's going to state that he's got a lot of focus on, again, this project coming up. So I'm like, I feel that I don't want to worry too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna already have an inherent amount of worry with that stuff, but I'm just gonna plug it in the back of my mind because I don't want to do it because I'll lose all my hair. You know what I'm saying? Trying to speculate and theorize about what's the development process like. But I feel like it's gonna be different this time around. That's just my personal opinion on that. Now, aside from all that shit, aside from the logistical worries of a Kingdom Hearts game, actually looking at the trailer, this shit look cool as hell, bro. Now, I know I've been reading back up on this and I've been getting back into the lore because it's been a real long time for me. So again, I guess just the plays to, the Dead Project, Final Fantasy Versus 13 and all this stuff like that. This man's sword just ends up in a whole other world. And I was trying to explain to myself the concept of where he is right now, and I got confused like a solid 25 hours. Like, it wasn't even minutes, nigga. It was a straight hours. Like, I was like, yo, a whole day I had to sit on it. Like, the fuck is so if he's not in reality, that's Unreal shit, Unreal Engine. They ain't Unreal Engine, but that's not the fifth one, that's the fourth one, but that's the fourth title. But then they move into Unreal. See, and I got lost. That's how I got lost. That's literally how I got lost. But the shit was it looked really cool. Again, the characters we saw Donald, Goofy, Sora has a brand new look. He looks really fucking fire. I'm about to say anything pop out to you from the trailer itself, just like, stuff that you was looking at.
I am a fan of them like exploring this new space of like quote unquote like being in like real time or whatever, or like the regular world. Everything looked pretty sick. That's the thing is, like, when I was watching it, it really felt like I was like back in high school seeing the first announcement trailer for like Kingdom Hearts, like when Kingdom Hearts 3 and you were fighting on like Mount Olympus with the roller coasters and stuff. And I was like, oh, these are awesome, some really cool, awesome what's the word for it? New features, I guess, of the game. Like, oh, we got chained. Like, the movement looks sick. Like, it looks dope. But again, I'm a big skeptic, so I was watching and I was just like, all right, cool, but when are we gonna see it? But outside of that, it looked like a really, really good game, and like the graphics look insane. It doesn't even really make sense to me. I'm excited for it. The features look dope. I love where they're at with it. Like, honestly, like, it just seems like a good ass game. Just gonna have to wait to see. For me, really. Facts.
Yeah, you like that? I'm about to say, you saw that reaction commands are back. I know they had like a little empty space for the button, but yeah, I'm about to say, for me personally,
I was gonna say, like, one thing I didn't like too much about 3 was like everything being tied to triangle. Like, even like when you use spells, and like if you use spells 3 times, and it's like Faraga, it's like a triangle command thing. Like,
it was like kind of like auto loader. It's just kind of like it's like, and it was it's like an overabundance of again, just combo spam, which I didn't mind because it was super flashy and nice. Yeah. But I don't know. It was just some things about it.
To me, it became a little bit too automatic kind of thing. Yeah. Like, I wanted a little bit more control as opposed to, like, I don't want this. I want to use like the Faraga or like the Blizzaro or whatever, but I don't want to use it right now. But I have a time limit and I have to press triangle.
Yeah,
like,
and get it out.
Yeah. So I was just like, there's things that I kind of want them to go back. But again, like, the combat wasn't even my sore spot in the game. Like, if we kept that same thing, it wouldn't be a problem. But like, the reaction commands, the chains, and how that's gonna affect game fights and whatnot. I hope that it's like the chain abilities are more than just like press triangle when you're close to this thing. Like, I want it to be more. I didn't do it. More like Dream Drop Distance. I think did a really good job when they try to expand combat by like, hey, jump on it, like movement based stuff, like running on walls
with the flow motion.
Yeah, like. That is different as opposed to like, yo, now your triangle does more triangle stuff. Like, that's cool, but like, I want something that really changes the gameplay. If we're gonna be changing the gameplay, if it's just gonna be like cool executions, then it's like, all right, cool, but it's not like there's still a lot to be explored with Kingdom Hearts 3. That was another issue. I felt like I was like, this game is really, really good, but I feel like this is like half of what, like I feel like I played half of the game. Like there was a lot of story. The game was a full game, but I wanted more gameplay. I wanted them to like expand on it, and it looks like they are. So I think this game is going to be pretty nuts when it comes to combat, because it's only really up from 3.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like, again, like the time spent with like I got to go back and fully play Remind, but from what I've seen about Remind, like they did a full, you know, again, reassessment of what things were, and they made a real good step forward in terms of, again, the combat systems and how things are certain works, and little tweaks here and there. And I think, again, with this next lead with Kingdom Hearts 4, there's going to be a lot of stuff, you know, that's going to be really overhauled and updated, especially again when it comes to again, just the gameplay tidbits. There was actually mention of something called a build and break mode or something like that, where you can, like, I guess it was certain constructs. It's like a fourth option. I have no idea what that entails, but people were saying it's linked to the Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix secret boss and how his powers were structured. So it could be a really interesting, I guess, setup. I'm just really, I have no idea right now, but I'm trying to see, again, it's just what you said, the basis of control. Is it like an automatic, oh, I can just press one button and it just all these things, I have to keep spamming it out? Or can I tactically place all these skills and abilities in a situation for myself where, okay, I can activate this when needed, I can activate this when needed, I can snap into this, you know, and have a real good set of tools in my toolbox when I approach again the Heartless, the Unverse, whatever the hell that we're playing this, you know, this game this time around, to again whoop some ass. That's really what it's all about. I agree with you on that point. I want to have a good balance of control and just flashiness to where I can really belt some shit out, but at my will, not at, oh, I have to sit on this timer all the time. You know what I'm saying? I have to get everything out all at once and rush myself.
Yeah, like I'm excited, but again, like this is very, very early in development, because like they said, still in development, like making magic or whatever. Magic
in the making.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, so it's like
I know they had to change that tagline because niggas was gonna be on of like, now in development. Nah, son, we seen this last time.
Like you come on, bro. We've been down this road.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just happy that now I'm so more into games than I was back in the past. And I'm dealt with more series, so I can distract myself easily. I'm like, yo, listen, when Kingdom Hearts comes, it'll pull up. But I'm not too stressed about it now because I have other series, other great games that are dropping all throughout, you know, this year and the coming years, to where, you know, I'm not fully fixated on it until it's like right in my face. So I know that's just my personal situation, but I know I'm gonna be keeping tabs with the story and everything else like that. Again, just to double. I don't even want to talk about lore on the podcast too much because we could be here for like 5 hours trying to, again, walk around the same point 3 times.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave that for another time. I'm gonna leave that for another video because that's gonna be funny in and of itself. But last little big piece though, like at some point during the trailer, they showcased a little forest, and I was like, yo, the forest looking beautiful, realistic as hell. I was like, bro, is this Kingdom Hearts or just some tech demo? It doesn't make any sense. But some really, really keen eyes around the internet stopped the frame, looked at a riverbed, saw the top right, noticed a weird shaped rock or something, and then they managed to look and match up a certain piece of technology, a certain ATST, and people are very, very heavily speculating that was a forest on Endor, and we could be seeing Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts. Now, what do you feel about that? What do you feel about that speculation?
We speculated this in Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of people were speculating because, like, oh, they got, but by the time that they had acquired Marvel, the game was already, again, this is 2013. I don't even know like when Marvel even got bought by Disney. But
I'm trying to figure out when it was. Hold on, that's worth a Google.
Like
2015, 2014, 2015, 16.
Like the game essentially at that time, by the time like we knew Disney for owning Marvel or for owning Star Wars, that game would have already been in development for a long time, and to add those new worlds would have been insane. So I don't think they would have.
Y'all was mad at 6 years. Oh yeah, it would have been a straight decade that we would have got that joint in.
We would have got Kingdom Hearts 3 today. Like that's how long I feel like it would have taken if you would have add like all the Star Wars stuff. Like it would have been insane. Is it possible in this year? Yeah, I don't see why not. Honestly, I would love for them to hold a bigger part, because like in Kingdom Hearts 3 we had like Frozen World. Like that's how far back Kingdom Hearts 3 was going. Is that Frozen at the time was still relevant.
Facts. It was still in that range. And also,
Yeah.
just to adding your tidbit on the tidbit, LucasArts got acquired by Disney in 2012 and Marvel in 2009, which is fucking wild to say. That's actually very weird time gap. But
Interesting.
continue.
2012 was still because we got the game in 2013, so they were already working on it. So we weren't gonna get LucasArts stuff for a minute. I also feel like they were trying to usually with Kingdom Hearts they kind of try to promote things at least when Kingdom Hearts comes out, not after 17 years or whatever. They try to promote their stuff. So like Big Hero
100%.
6 made sense. Frozen made sense.
Yeah, a marquee joint. And you got to think about their relationship with Disney as well. And you know, it's been hard for them as a development team to get access to all these Disney worlds and stuff. They had to build up a lot of rapport and trust. Like Nomura just didn't get that joint. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like off the rip, they watched him heavily. Like they made him go through revision after revision of Sora's character because Sora's technically Disney property. Like a lot of this stuff, like Disney checked and checked and checked again and saw if we can remove this, cut this. You know what I'm saying? They were on his ass at the beginning, and then I feel like again he's gained trust over the time. So who knows what he has access to now? But from where I'm standing, he at least has some foundation of trust with Disney because he's worked with them for so long and he's done well to incorporate, you know, the titles that he's been given. Because I would have never, again, if you asked me back then, I would have never guessed that we would have access to, you know, like Big Hero 6 or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never guessed it when I first saw it. I was like, yo, there's no way he actually got his hands on Big Hero 6 to like talk about, like, and to explore. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're in there. But I also like wouldn't hold my breath too much. Mostly because like I could for sure see them in the forms of summons. That would make a lot of sense.
Oh yeah.
But
if they brought summons back full force like that. Oh yeah, no, 100%.
I don't know. Like again, we're gonna get some good shit. That's all. That's like I don't think that this is gonna be a bad game. I don't even think. I think it'll even be. I really want to say that it'll even be better than 3 because I feel like there's no way they kind of fucked this up. Like they kind of got a good thing going.
Especially with the whole process of what they learned and the L's they took in their wake and in the redemption through Remind. I feel like they have to know where to go from here. They have that basis.
So we'll see. I also think that they showed with 3, they showed how much interest is still in Kingdom Hearts. So like they've proven it to Disney, they've proven it to like everybody. Like people still care about this franchise, and that's why we have Kingdom Hearts now on PC. Why we have like all these deals are being made and stuff like that is because they want this franchise to succeed now. So I don't see it being a bad game.
Yeah, in terms of like Disney game franchises, this is number one. This is their. Again, this is their like the workhorse. This is I'm not saying cash cow, but like because it's not a cash cow, but it's like again, there's their breadwinner. It's their champion. Like for Disney brands, like this is it for them. So, you know, I feel like it's you know they're supported on all ends. So it's just a matter of you got to execute and build on what you guys built in 3. Really quickly though, if you had one world that you want to see in Kingdom Hearts 4, which one would it be? Real quick.
That's a great question. You go first because there's a lot.
Yeah, this is tough, bro. This is actually tough, but I would say this off the rip. Coco, the Coco world, that joint. I'm pretty sure that's Disney, right?
Yes.
That joint will be fire because it just from a aesthetic perspective alone, that joint just looks beautiful. It's a dope ass movie. It's probably one of the best again, like you know, Disney movies that dropped over the past few years. Again, the aesthetics are great. It's probably a lot of great boss inclusions. It seems really easy to translate into something that would be like dope. And just the concept of death, which seems to be a really big theme in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yes.
Like just again, like you know, how Sora ends up in that world and how they're connected through, you know, death or some certain condition to get to Quadratum. That seems like it's a big play. So it could be connected. So to me, it makes sense in certain ways. And again, it's just dope. It's just a dope ass world. I would love to see it. Again, it's well in the Disney range, but shit, it's heat, bro. It's heat. Coco is definitely one of them ones.
I definitely agree with you. That would be almost a no brainer to put in there.
Facts.
Damn, I just had it and I totally lost it because I was like, damn, that's a really good idea. Because it's so hard because I haven't even remembered like a good. It's been a while since I remember like a really good. Not like that Disney movies aren't good, but it's more like that I remember one that I really wanted.
Yeah. A breakout joint.
Yeah,
that's the one.
A deep cut would be like, what's this thing called? Oh my god, why am I blanking on this? Like Treasure Planet, like that would be like a deep cut,
Oh,
like something
yes.
crazy like
Yes.
that. Um,
Yes. Yes.
I would
That's
like
one we've
something
been
like
wanting
that,
for ages.
or even like
Ages.
was Atlantis was Disney, wasn't it? Were they
I think it was under Disney, but hold on, wait, nah.
like there's been a good amount of movies, but Coco's for sure. I mean, everybody wants Star Wars, and even as a Star Wars fan, I would love to see Star Wars because there's no way like it would just make sense, like good and evil, light and dark, like the dark side of the Force, light side. Like it just it would make
Yes,
sense.
it was Disney, by the way.
That's
Atlantis
what I'm saying.
was
Like
Disney.
that, like I would love to see a deep cut would be cool, or like a movie that we just wouldn't expect to be in it.
Facts. It's hard, but yeah, I really heavily agree with you on the Lost Planet one. I feel like that could be a really good sleeper that comes through because
You
of
know
course,
what I'm saying?
you know what I'm saying? Like Treasure Planet is also one of the best Disney drops of all time. You know what I'm saying? Quote your mama on that, for real, for real. But that would be a really good one. Atlantis, I don't know because of the proximity to like the Little Mermaid and Atlantica. So maybe I don't know if they might be that might be bumping heads. I'm not sure, but that's definitely a really really good shout. And of course, I'm gonna drop out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to what's it called? New York. Literally, just Marvel's Avengers, New York. Just drop them in the middle of there.
That
Let
would
him
work.
fight Loki. Let him fight a big ass Chitauri. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let him run loose. You know what I'm saying? All over some area. Put him in Wakanda. I don't know.
We could
Do
even
something, dog.
we could even see Moana. Like that could also
Bro,
be another one.
Moana would be crazy. Moana would be a crazy fight. He got to fight a whole island.
Like that would be
son.
that would be cool.
And a whole fire mount. Yeah, nah. That would be a fire world. And from the quotes we heard from this week, he did like some other interview with Famitsu. He was like, you know, at some point, Quadratum is a base for you know, where Sora lands in for a part of the game. So we're like, he's not gonna be in there forever, from what we're hearing. People are speculating that he's not gonna be in that. He's not gonna be on that side forever, so he can jump back to the Disney side where he originally was from. So maybe we'll see new worlds connected after he jumps back, or you know, we have a lot of open seasons, so there could be new worlds on the Quadratum side with maybe more real world stuff like the Star Wars and maybe a Marvel's game or something like that. And then there's also again the Disney worlds that we can get connected back to on this side, like a Coco or a Moana. So I mean, listen, we got a lot of room to run.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not gonna stress too much about what could be. I'm just gonna like let it happen at the end of the day because I learned my lesson from Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. But given my inner child is very happy and very excited that, you know, it got announced and it's actually a thing. Because I mean, in my eyes, I was like, yo, Kingdom Hearts 3 is there and like that saga's done. Like I'm probably not gonna hear for another decade probably. I kind of just dismissed it in my head, but it's alive. It's a thing. I was at the backflip and broke my neck when I heard about it, and honestly, can't wait to see what comes next from it. For real.
Yeah.
All right. Had to keep you there. You know, I could have went in story. I could have kept you here for 3 hours, but it's fine. We got a show to do, man. We got to keep it moving. But all right, let's move on to the next story of the day. So this week we got to look at a new game coming from Asper and Beamdog entitled Myth Force, which is an 80s style 4-player online co-op first-person roguelite experience. Again, drawing heavily on the themes of 80s cartoons. This game is looking to keep players hooked with 4 classes of players and constantly changing dungeons to spice up the fun. So this came through the middle of the weekend. This is like a really actually like a dope ass trailer. Like they had like, you know, the old TV set, like Saturday morning cartoons, like you know, really in the elk of like a, you know, He-Man, Voltron type of style. What do you think about this one?
I love the aesthetic is cool. I'm really excited. 4-player co-op. Always fun. It seems to give like Dungeons and Dragons type vibes, which is cool. I feel like we haven't had a good co-op Dungeons and Dragons game, and yes, I know that there is a co-op Dungeons and Dragons game. It's not good though, so we're not talking about that one. Roguelike, and I'm assuming procedurally generated dungeons sounds like fun. Like it just sounds like a good like indie Borderlands experience where it's just like we use our abilities and our weapons to progress through this world. Like it just sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it. I think if it's a Game Pass game, for sure giving it a try. If I can get a code, for sure giving it a try. It looks like a fun game. I'm definitely happy. It's around that time now where we're gonna start seeing a lot of like smaller games pop up because it's the time where we're gonna get game announcements, but we're not gonna get games right away. So people are gonna try to, you know, make their way in this space as of right now. Like they need this up until like I want to say August. I don't expect to see too much from big major releases outside of like Nintendo because they work on their own schedule.
Yeah, 100%. And And to me, that's fine because if we have experiences like this that are really like getting novel and out there and branching out in terms of what we're looking at, I don't mind it. I'm 100% for this. Again, in the elk of like again these 80s cartoons, I really love this art style. I really like enjoy the look of it. It just feels like again fun. Like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's real again like 80s. Like it's not too hokey, but it's like real like what I'm saying, like man for it. Like you gotta be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like it seems really really fun from the premise and from the motifs of it. It looks really dope. Now it just the thing that really draws me in is the 4-player co-op aspect, of course, because I'm thinking of like Power Stone. I'm thinking of like the games like Nicktoons Unite and stuff like that. Like just a 4-player co-op experience that really like locks you in. And just if you can really bring that type of again game style back in a really novel and fun way, if it's procedurally generated, keep those levels coming through. I think you have a really really fun game in your hands. It could be a a dark horse in a year. Honestly, it could be a really like noticeable game that people play and get and tap into. And yeah, it just seems really really fun, and it looks like it comes from a real place of interest and love. So I like it. I'm a 90s baby, but I like the 80s concept. You know what I'm saying? I got to study up on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it looks really really cool. It really does.
I think so too. I am excited to see what comes of it.
Hey yo, Asper, you know what I'm saying? Holla at us, Beam Dog, holla at us, man.
For
We
sure.
trying to see what's going on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a young boy / old head, so we can make this work. We can make this work. All right, time to you know what I'm saying, break out the tinfoil hats for a quick second. Just wanted to speculate a little bit. So the Nintendo rumor mill has been working overtime these past few days, as that's the only kernel of novel news since Switch fans are getting nothing at the moment. According to a couple of sources, there have been some job listings popping back up on the internet from Bandai Namco requesting art panelists, visual artists, and a 3D background artist with postings containing a mention of a collaboration with Nintendo. Now, we're thinking, it's saying a lot about a remaster. I think it's a game that had collaboration between Bandai Namco and Nintendo in the past. A lot of people are pointing towards one culprit, but I mean, to your opinion, what do you think it might be?
It could be. I feel like it's gonna be a remaster. At this point, I can't really think of a Namco game, that they're trying to push for on Switch. So with the remaster in mind, might be Dragon Ball Z related because that's like their favorite go-to. It would be sick if they did like a Budokai Tenkaichi remaster or something like that, like something nuts. But I feel like it's gonna be something Pac-Man related because I haven't heard about Pac-Man in a minute, so I feel like it's gonna be Pac-Man related. If it's not, sick, but
bro, please do not let it be Pac-Man related.
It might be Pac-Man related. They love that Pac-Man.
Please, dear God, let's not do it. But aside from Pac-Man World 2, because Pac-Man World 2 is actually pretty dope, but that's not the point. A lot of people have been saying number one would probably be Kid Icarus Uprising. They would probably bring that joint back around. And the second one I've heard is Star Fox Assault that was on the GameCube. So I mean,
don't say that.
Two notable joints.
Don't bring that game up.
Two notable joints.
Don't give me hope.
He said no assault.
Don't give me hope. That would only be a smart idea, and I don't think that's what they're going to do. Don't fucking say that game.
How you feel about both of them then? Talk about it, bro.
Star Fox Assault was the best Star Fox game that ever came out, period. It was amazing from beginning to end. Fucking multiplayer was awesome. The story was awesome. Like, that game was a good GameCube game. We haven't yet to see it. If they remaster it, I'd buy it day one. If they're remaking it, but like good, like a good remake, I'd buy it still. Like, that would be a great, like, I would love to bring Star Fox back because all we got from Star Fox was a Ubisoft licensed game that was like, oh, we're making a game about space exploration, and they were like, that's not gonna sell. So then they talked to Nintendo, like, can we use Star Fox? And they're like, only if you play Star Fox on the Switch. And they're like, fuck it, yeah, sure, why not? And then they had fucking those Skylander figures that I really thought we were gonna move away from in 20 whatever. Like, I thought we were done with buying figures to play games, but
nope.
Fuck us, I guess.
The amiibos will never die, baby.
Amiibos are the only things that I fucked with. Everything else, like, I don't want. If you're gonna give me a statue of an R-wing, like the Star Fox ship, don't give me the Ubisoft fucking version of it. Give me the regular shit. I don't want that. Like, I don't want this American ass ship. Get away from me. I really hate
Oh
figures in
shit,
games.
bro.
I think it's such a waste of space. But I also don't have a lot of space. So I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe when I move out, I'm gonna be a big fucking fan of amiibos. But yeah,
oh
we haven't
man.
had a good Star Fox game in ages. So Star Fox Assault would
Mm,
be insane. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. I feel like
yeah.
I'll see Kingdom Hearts 5 before I see fucking Star Fox Assault.
Dang. It's bold, man. But yeah, I think it could be, it could be Kid Icarus Uprising. That's what a lot of people are talking towards. Again, a likely one, but a really dope one would be Star Fox Assault. But I got my money on Wario World, dog. Let's get
Wario
Wario
World?
World going, man.
Did,
Wario World, bro.
did Bandai
Come
Namco
on
make
now.
that? That's nuts.
I'm like halfway sure. I remember I seen people mentioning it. I'm like, yo, they
Uh,
did that. I'm about to say they did help with. Didn't they help with that?
That would be sick. That would be sick. I
If
actually
that's
enjoy
one.
the Wario games.
If that's one of them ones, bro, let it be so.
Yeah.
Let it be so, because Wario World was a dope ass game. But honestly, if I had my money on anything, it'd probably be Kid Icarus, because I mean it's the most out of frame of all of them.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus Uprising is probably the most out of frame. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a smart decision because Kid Icarus is a dope series, but is it the most smart decision as in like, yo, everybody would go crazy if we actually got a good Star Fox game again? Probably not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not
no,
like
no.
as freaking out there. You know what I mean? But it's cool. It's all good. All right, that's enough tinfoiling for the day. We'll see what's going on next. Okay, so it's time to have this conversation. Oh my gosh! In Holy Hell Redemption Story Continues news, No Man's Sky is slated to roll out a major update to the open world space exploration game called No Man's Sky Outlaws. And there's a bunch of stuff in this new update, including, hold on, let me take a quick breath. A new class of vehicle called solar ships. Outlaw stations with house new missions, gear, and opportunity for piracy. Improved ship combat and aesthetics in space, as well as planetary atmosphere. Good smuggling mechanics that have potential risk of capture. Squadrons to accompany you on your journeys. Fleet number exploration or expansion rather. Close simulation, adding hoods, capes, and more styles for appearance. New expeditions, raids, and more available right now. No Man's Sky dropping heat with this one. What are we thinking? When?
No Man's Skies
Gosh.
is so fucking good. It's insane. It's like it's crazy. All this shit is free too. Like that's always what blows me away, that you guys have been doing this for free. I don't know who's paying this bill. I'm happy for whoever is. This is one of the best games out right now. I literally cannot recommend this game more to literally anybody. It's such a good game. The only reason I haven't, like, I just don't have time for it because it's so massive now. Like it's the size is enormous, and I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever. I just don't have the time for it. It's every single time No Man's Sky drops an update, I download it, which I probably will. Like probably next week, I'll probably have it downloaded and play a little bit of it more. But it's such a good game. Like that's all that really needs to be said. Is like adding, like they're just adding things that people are asking for. Like, oh, new cosmetics, cool. And guess what? You don't have to pay for it. New ships, you don't have to pay for it. All this shit, you don't have to pay for it. That's insane. Because there are a lot of games that you have to pay for every single thing, and you're not even getting this level of like stuff. You'll get like cosmetics, or you'll get like, oh, this is like look at the Sims DLC compared to No Man's Skies. Sims will sell you the season of winter, like that. You will pay $20 for it to snow. No Man's Skies is giving you entire new ways of playing the game for free. It doesn't make any sense.
Wow. I just have to say, wow. Last time we had, I'm thinking back to when we first seen No Man's Sky, and the nervous dude on stage who ended up being the guy, the creator of the whole game and stuff like that, and just seeing what it was and the horrible reception it got when it came out. I will go on record. I was one of the people that was slating this game. I'm like, yo, what is this game? Is like, it didn't have anything in it. And it was broken, bro. Like, yo, like this is not good. This is trash right here. And my friend was trying to convince me it's a good game. I'm like, bro, I see what's going on out there. It's not good. And again, it came out to a really, really, really rocky start. Like it was on the ropes. It was almost down and out. But let me say this. I am wrong about No Man's Sky. I was wrong about No Man's Sky because of the redemption story that they had, because of the steps that they took to make this game such a really, really like the definition of expansive in experience. from all these updates that I've been noticing again over the past few years and whatnot. Like again, it's consistent. They did like, oh yeah, whole things. You can set up your whole home base. You know what I'm saying? You set up a team, set up all this other stuff. They created such an environment that's so again expansive, that's so rich with content, rich with everything. Like I have to hold my hands up and say, listen, you guys have came back, and I have to reverse every opinion that I've had in the past about No Man's Sky. Honestly, I can come back and stand up on my own too as a man and say, yo, I was wrong on this because y'all came back.
Yeah.
And y'all came back so much so that y'all beat the people whose original premise was to do this thing. Star Citizen, bro. I haven't heard a peep from Star Citizen in a long ass time, bro. And then y'all come out the cut and literally just do everything Star Citizen was trying to do at one point. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all just stepped into this lane and built everything up like that. I have nothing but plaudits for the No Man's Sky team. You know, this is one of those comeback stories, and it kind of prompted me to have actually an idea to think about, like, yo, like, what are those great comeback stories that we see in gaming? Because a lot of the times we see all the hype gets too great for a franchise, you know what I'm saying, like a Kingdom Hearts 3 or whatever, and then they let the fans down, or they let, you know, expectations and they fail. Like we harp a lot on that, but I don't see so much about, you know, so people like this and groups like this and games like this, like No Man's Sky, coming back from the abyss and just creating an experience that's one of the top in gaming right now. Like if you want bang for you buck, I'm telling you, No Man's Sky is probably one of those games. Like if they caught me with this expansion, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, when I was younger, this would probably be the only game I played for the most part. Yeah. Like this is probably one of the main three, because there's so much to do. Like again, look at the update. You added like so many ships to your fleet. You can add a whole squadron of people to your travels. Like you can have companions that come with you. Yeah. Just add it off the whim. You have entire outlaw stations that are plotted throughout the whole universe and whatnot. You can just drop in, trade stuff. You can smuggle goods. You can actually be a smuggler, and then you can run into police. You know, intergalactic police, and they might catch you. They might not. Like there's so much depth added into it, and I am baffled by the turnaround. I am personally baffled by the turnaround, and honestly, really, really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I can't even remember how long ago this game like first came out, like 2016, 2017 or something like that.
It was a while ago. I could look it up for you.
It was a minute ago, but I can tell you, I was very, very, you know, critical because I didn't see anything at first. But again, the vision and the grit it takes for a team to come back, especially the one with the size of Hello Games. They started out really small as an indie developer, then they got support, you know what I'm saying, over time. To come back from that and consistently build on your vision and do that, that's one of the best, you know, feelings and one of the best experiences as, you know, as a fan, as a developer that you can have in gaming. Seeing something come 2016, thank you. Literally a whole 6-year gap, and this should be in contention for one of the best ongoing games, honestly, for this year. Yeah. I think they're not going to stop, you know, right now. The snowball's going to continue for them. I think it really should be in contention for the best ongoing game, you know what I'm saying, of the year, and I think it should win. I think it should be closer to winning, you know what I'm saying, than not. This
game is like Space Minecraft. That's the only other game I can think about it that
it's Space Minecraft. Yeah. It's literally Space Minecraft with better graphics. You know what I'm saying?
It's the only game that I can think of that like came out with like bare bones and then built itself up to being the giant that it is today. Like they just keep adding stuff for free, and it's like they're not trying to get you to pay for anything. They're just like, hey, bro, just buy the game.
And it wasn't even good. The original premise of the game was just, yo, we're traveling, we're getting materials, and we're going to the end of the universe. They built everything up after that on their content offering, and they just leapfrogged people who are actually trying to make that concept happen still. Yeah. And it hasn't caught on yet for them. But they were just like, oh yeah, bet. Oh, pirates, a whole universe, you know what I'm saying? Like actually playing with your friends, whole new starship combat that's out in space and in a planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll throw all that in there for sure. Bet. Yeah. And again, nothing but praise. They get a huge W for this. I will say that up front. They get a huge W for this, man. This should be honestly one of the comeback stories of the past 6-7 years. This was a really, really dope arc, and I can't wait to see them do more, man. For real.
For sure. I feel the same way. Like every time they update it, I always download it and play it more, and I'm like, damn, this is such a good game. Mm-hmm. It's expand. You could be a No Man's Sky streamer and maybe not even do all the stuff that there is in that game. Like there's always new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hey, yo, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm gonna try the game. I'm gonna hop back into it at some point. like literally there's some games in my backlog I got to get through, and that's fair. But I know when we hit that long summer stretch and there might not be as much games dropping, this is definitely going into the rotation for sure. I'm gonna be regularly playing this because there's so much there, bro. There's literally so much there. Shout outs to the team, bro. I completely forget the creator's name of the CEO of Hello Games or the lead. I completely forget his name. It's Sean something. I think it's Sean something.
Sean Murray. He's the director.
Sean Murray.
The founder is Grant Duncan, though. But Sean Murray is the director.
Yes. Shout out to Sean Murray for directing all this stuff. And again, seeing it through, bruh. Like, because, again, kudos, man. Kudos, because it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
I know. All right, man. Shout outs to No Man's Sky. Let's keep it forward. We got a new trailer for another game out. You know what I'm saying? It might be on the way soon. We got to look at the upcoming action RPG title Steel Rising this week. It's coming from Spiders Games, which is a team behind Greedfall, seeming to bleed into like more the Soulsborne lane. This game is set during the French Revolution in France, but with a twist of being populated with automatons and robots, including the main protagonist. So it's like a real like kind of steampunky / like Alita Battle Angel, like you a robot, you know what I'm saying, do your damn thing. It's really interesting premise, but what we think about this, man?
So I actually played a little bit of Greedfall, and I was trying to make a video on it way back in the day, but then like the video was corrupted or whatever, so I was like, damn, I really can't do anything with this. But really good game. I think this game is going to be pretty sick. They did some really good work. It looks interesting. It looks very, very Soulsborne-ish, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I feel like that's just going to be a genre in and of itself at some point. Well, not at some point. It is a genre in and of itself. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that it looks like that, because third-person combat, like, I think that it's fine, personally. It really depends on what they do with it and how it works out or how it feels. But it doesn't look bad. The fact that, like, I think you're a robot is really interesting because you have so many options to do what you want with the character. So I am excited because Greedfall was it got really critically, it was really good. I'm surprised Greedfall didn't blow up as much as I felt like it should have, because it felt like if you took Fable and a different company made it, even though it's not at all like Fable, but it's like the same premise of like that time space with like magic and stuff. Like I thought it was a good game, and I'm definitely jumping back into Greedfall. I have it downloaded, but shout out to them, man. I'm happy to see more games being made. This game looks pretty sick.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't have any problem with this necessarily. I'm just like, how can you start to make those tweaks and make those adjustments to your gameplay offering that makes you stand out from a Soulsborne type of game like a Necromancer or a Technomancer or again, or a Greedfall or something like that in that elk. So you're automatically going to get judged to the standard, of course.
Yeah.
But how are you going to find a way to make that happen? Again, the automaton concept and like them being, robots in a ancient time period. Well, not ancient, but a time period in the past looks really interesting. Again, French Revolution concept looked pretty cool. From the trailer, it looked like there were some, again, frame rate issues. Yeah. So I was like, you guys got to kind of lock in and rein it back there. But from the sense of it, it looks really cool, honestly. Like I didn't have any gripes with it necessarily. I'm probably not gonna play this off rip, but if it looked good when it comes out, I might actually, maybe give it a shot.
Right.
It could be an easier intro into those types of games than Elden Ring is, because I'm definitely not playing that joint. You know what I'm saying? You already know the policy. We still going strong, baby. But I again, from what it looks like, it seems like it's pretty solid so far. So you know what? Steel Rising, we actually keep an eye out, like a squinty eye for me, a squinty side eye for me.
Yeah.
All right. For sure. Some news you might like. It seems that the ball is trying to roll again for the Overwatch team as another origin trailer has released for a new character named Sojourn. Now, there was some linked gameplay. It seems like she's a soldier with cybernetic abilities. A lot of different stuff in the gamut. But how are you feeling about this, man? They finally got a new character trailer. It might be in the back, coming back through. What's going on?
So they announced Sojourn when they announced the game a while back. They've even published, I believe, a overview trailer. So it kind of felt more real. Watching it, I felt like how do I say it? Watching it, I felt like I was watching Overwatch, a new character on Overwatch 1 when I was still playing Overwatch. Like, it was a great experience. I was like, oh man,
like nostalgic.
yeah, in a sense. Like, it's changing the game. Like, oh, how am I gonna play against this, that, and the third? But then when the trailer ended, I kind of like snapped back into reality. Like, it's like seeing your ex for the first time, and you're like, for the first time in a while, you're like, oh man, I remember all the good times. But then I'm like, I also remember why I'm no longer with this person anymore. So it's like, it's interesting. They released an overview trailer for her, but I wish they would have released an overview trailer for the game. Now, again, I'm not tapped into Overwatch. I kind of avoid it at this point. Not in the sense of like Overwatch, no, but like I don't look for it. So like maybe they do have more videos on like what the game is going to be, but the entire game's going to be different. So an overview trailer for a character, it doesn't really fit the same to me, because I'm like, well, there's going to be a whole new game. The game's going to be completely different. So I care more about when the beta's dropping than when the character is, or what the character does, because I want to play the game.
Nah, I definitely feel that. I feel that, bro. Me, you already know my stance. I'm not playing Overwatch, bro. I ain't played it since the first beta and the first like couple weeks of the game, bro. I don't play that shit like that. But I mean, again, we got another black queen in the game. She looked cool. She had like a rail gun, like a real railgun alt, which looked actually like pretty dope. I don't know how that messes with the meta or anything like that. But she looked pretty cool. And if Overwatch 2 actually drops, you know, maybe she'd be an interesting character to see if people play her, man. You know, we'll see.
The game drops.
Yeah, exactly. That's the caveat.
If the game drops.
That joint actually drops, boy. If it actually drops. All right, let's keep it moving. We grooving through some of these, man. So on the business side of gaming news, longtime game developer Vicarious Visions has now been snapped up and acquired by Blizzard, making the merger complete as of this week. Now, this seems to be a full transition for Vicarious Visions to be a support character for the major developments within Activision Blizzard and, by extension, Microsoft. So, I mean, thoughts on this? Vicarious Visions been a long-time developer since like the late 90s. Developed some really, really cool series now under Blizzard, which is now under Microsoft. So, what are we thinking about this, man? What's the move?
Why is Blizzard buying things? They just got. Are they allowed to buy things after they just got bought? Like, I feel like does it matter?
I mean, I'm not sure. I think they still have to do like that final vote thing, which is like, okay, we got to make sure it's confirmed that we allow this to happen to vote for Microsoft acquisition. But I'm pretty sure at this point it's like, formalities.
I mean, like, sure, I guess. I just don't know what the end goal is for Blizzard anymore. Like, the company that it once was isn't the company that we have now.
Salvage their stock price.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what they damn end goal is.
Like, I don't know. I don't even know what they're doing it for. So like, sure, cool, I guess. This is like, it's like, I guess, like, that's how I feel about it. It's just like, sure.
Yeah. It's like it is what it is thing. But
yeah,
my personal, I guess, request, if there's ever was one or whatever, I know, coming from the deluded mind of a gamer, so leave me alone. If we can somehow get Microsoft to again, like, kind of snap up and look, you know what I'm saying? What does Vicarious Visions got, man? Vicarious Visions, man. Like, what do they even have? If you could somehow get some competition to the upcoming Skate 4 or something like that, or maybe after Skate 4, drop another Tony Hawk game, because I think y'all still got some type of jurisdiction in that area. Give me like an actual, like, don't give me no Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, because that was not good. You know what I'm saying? Actually, no, wait. 1 and 2 was all right. Pro Skater 5 was trash. Don't give me that.
Yeah.
Don't give me that.
The newest one wasn't bad, I heard. Wasn't bad.
5?
No,
Pro Skater 5?
No. The newest remake. That's what I'm talking about, I think.
The remake of 1 and 2? Yeah, yes. The 1 and 2 was actually, it was a good remake. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to correct myself. Yeah. The 1 and 2 remake was actually okay. It was actually pretty solid. 5 was not.
Yeah.
But if y'all could actually, go back to the drawing board, come, put some stuff together, put this and this together, you know what I'm saying? Put it in the cup, mix it up 3 times, and make either a remake or a new iteration of a Tony Hawk Underground, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad. Again, you could have a new, you know what I'm saying, get a cast of characters together. There's a whole bunch of new skaters that's out in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole new, you know what I'm saying, lane. You could even get, you know what I'm saying, Bam Margera if he's still out there, you know what I'm saying, somehow surviving on what? Because he, whatever. I don't even want to get into the logistics of that. But you could get, that type of zany ass experience. If you can get that like type of campaign and put it in a Tony Hawk game for the new generation, that'd be a really dope inclusion. So I honestly think there's a couple franchises in Vicarious Visions lineup that are actually really, really cool that they could, tap back into. I think the first of which would obviously be what's it called? It'd be Tony Hawk, especially Thug. But thinking about other games, I mean, like, I don't know if they probably still do not have any jurisdiction over anything Marvel because they did Ultimate Alliance, so they do not have that anymore. I know for sure. But yeah, actually, upon second thought, yeah, now all y'all really got is freaking Tony Hawk, bro. I just need y'all to do that. And you know what I'm saying, make that happen. Everything else got taken off, y'all. That's crazy, bro. Jet Set Radio, somebody else. Nah. Dead ass. Just focus on Thug, trying to remake it or make a new iteration, and you know what I'm saying, ride out into the sunset, be a support role. That's that. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all thing. Be a support main. That's y'all life. It's all good. Shoot. All right. That's all I got on that. Let's slide into a little bit more meat and potatoes of the pod, man. All right. So a couple of days ago, the world got a little bit sadder as the Gundam Evolution closed network test officially closed out. Now, the hero shooter game dipped into the Gundam universe and has made a lot of waves over the past week, and it's looking to be a really interesting content offering in its full release. So, I know you've had a chance to get your hands on Gundam Evolution. I have as well, as part of the closed network test. Got some gameplay, got some hours in, and really like looked at it. How do you feel about the game?
I think that the game is actually pretty insane. It's really, really, really good. I actually today was like wanting to play, but I was like, damn, I can't because it's not out. I need the game to come out soon because it's just really good. Like, I just can't think of any other way of saying it. It's like a fun Overwatch. It's like literally reminded me of the days of playing Overwatch and be like, wow, this is fun. But like every character I played was like fun to play. There were no characters that I was playing that I was like, I don't really like playing this, but I have to play it. Like, every character had their purpose, but they also had fun mechanics about them. So I honestly cannot wait for this game. The only issues that I really have is when the game will come out and what this free to play game is gonna be. Like, what's the free to play parts of it?
Yeah. Well, that's not the only two issues I have. I have those plus one more, but that's beside the point for right now. But yeah, me in general, I wasn't expecting too much because, again, it's like, me neither. You feel a little bit, I guess, cautious about, games that just slap on, a brand or a specific genre, not a specific genre, but a specific series. And then you kind of put them on a certain style, like, okay, like, all right, it was looking like an Overwatch, Gundam game. I was like, okay, cool. Hopefully there's some substance to it where, again, it really makes it a fun experience. And I got that off the rip, man. Once I figured out my controls and actually got it popping, like, there's so much variety in the classes. And I think that was one of the things that really impressed me out the gate. They came with so much variety in who you could play as. Again, I found a lot of dope ass stuff. I immediately eyed the sniper. I don't usually play as a sniper in games, but I really like that sniper class. The shield class, what was it, Lava Toast, which was like the tankish type one.
Yeah.
Like there was so many different, like, again, classes to tap into and try and master. Like, again, the mechanics seemed really, really cool. The gameplay was actually really, really smooth. Again, looked dope. Play like butter, controller support, you know what I'm saying, like PC support. Like, there was so much good stuff happening in there. Like, I was very, very thoroughly impressed by how the gameplay came out. A little bit of confusion over, like, again, some of the objective things. And so in terms of domination, that mode is like, okay, only one flag opens up. So it took a little bit to get adjusted to the rules, because I was like, damn, I'm thinking COD, like, just go cap a flag and go. But it's only that one flag opens for a certain time. So that was cool. That was, that was there. A little bit of changes to the map design and map flow, because I feel like in some maps it took a long time to get engaged with people, or at least get into those real action areas. So I know, like, I forgot what map it was, but it was like, you gotta like walk through this hallway to get to this open space, and you float over there, and you somehow end up in the open air, and then you fight people. You know what I mean? That seemed a little bit too long. Maybe either if you adjust the spawn point, or you can just make the map a little bit more tighter in a sense. That helps, again, get engagements going further and further, and then, again, ticks the respawns up and allows you to get into the fight faster. I think that would be a really welcome change, just to, again, keep the fun of the flow and keep consistency with, if you're seeing enemies or not, if you're on this side and that side. Yeah, that's definitely cool. And Barbatos, y'all, Barbatos. Y'all need to nerf that nigga, bro. Y'all need to nerf him. Y'all need to pull him back. Dark Side Superman meme with the cape. Just hold him back real quick. Where are you going? I need you to rein him in and nerf his ass, because that boy is a problem. That boy is a problem. Gundam Barbatos is an official problem, because I saw too much of that damn man. The L2, the stun shot, the stun spike thing. Oh my goodness gracious. You know how many times I got a rock bite and I was like, yo, that's instant death. I'm not going anywhere. That's it. That's a wrap for me. Like, that was a wild character. There was only, and it was like probably one of the only standouts in terms of brokenness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the entire lineup.
It was the only character that I think could really use adjustments. But that's the thing about it's a network closed. Like, we're gonna see improvements and we're gonna see changes. Honestly, I think it was honestly, if they would have released that game as like that game that way, I would have been like, okay, this isn't a bad release. Not saying it was a good one, but like, from just the closed network test, I think that we have a really good game on our hands, to be honest.
Facts. Hey, listen, there's a new hero shooter on the scene, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I really need to, you know what I'm saying, watch over anything except the Gundam game. That's just me though. That's just me. But yeah, it really was a dope experience, and I just hope it does good in the West. I really hope it does good commercially on you know, on the West and everything like that, because I know it's gonna go like hotcakes in Japan and, you know, the Eastern areas and stuff like that. But I hope people really take to it, and again, hope it fills a gap and gets like Overwatch players and other people who play hero shooters on board, because it's a really solid experience, man. And I think it can only get better with new maps, new characters, and again, just more tweaks.
Yeah, for sure.
100%, man. Shout outs to Gundam Evolution, man. We miss you out here. We miss you. Please.
No, for sure. I think about playing the game all the time. I genuinely do. I do have to go to the bathroom though. My bad.
No, please. Yeah, you're good, bro. We came with the right break. We came at the right time to take a little intermission. This intermission has been brought to you by Hyperbolic Tripp Chamber. How you guys doing? I'm about to say. Also, it's also by Growth. We've also brought to you, you know what I'm saying, this short broadcast by Growth, man. Go follow the Growth page. Let me go spam this joint while we here, bro. Let me get this down. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? If you are, you know what I'm saying, listening to the podcast, twitter.com/all4growth. That's capital A, lowercase LL, capital F, lowercase OR, capital G, lowercase OROWTH. Listen, if you heard that, don't worry about it. I might edit it out, but don't worry about it. Listen, it's none of your business. Go follow Growth. All right. Go follow Growth. We're doing big things out here, man. Shout outs to all of our members as well. Again, myself, When Easy, Ace the Don, Grizz, that guy Negus, you know what I'm saying? The Negus Corner, aka Cray Mac, you know what I'm saying? And K. the God. Go shout, you know what I'm saying? Go show all of them some love, man. We got some real dope stuff cooking. Like, you guys do not want to miss it. We got some real big things planned for, I'm about to say, coming at the end of this month, next month, and especially the summer. So y'all don't want to miss it. I had to turn to a sponsor for a second, bro. I had to air some commercials, bro. It's good. We're good.
My bad.
Nah, you're good. All right. I can take a breath now. All right, there we go. All right, on to the next set of topics that are lying within the trailer trove this week. If y'all don't know, about to say, this is a segment where we talk about a lot of things, movies, comics, and, you know, other alternative forms of media aside from video games. So let's get into it. First story of two today is that we got an update this week on the movie progress of the Sony smash hit Ghost of Tsushima. The film has now got a lead writer for the adaptation, with Takashi Dosher taking up the mantle, joining John Wick contributor Chad Stahelski in creating the upcoming entry into the PlayStation brand on the movie front. So we got some actual traction with Ghost of Tsushima. How you feel about, you know, this as a production, the new appointments, what's going on?
Like, I don't see anything wrong with it, really. I hope that, because the thing is, how do I say? I hope that it gets put in the right hands. And adding Takashi, I don't think is a bad idea. I think is like a step in the right direction, because you're taking this game about samurais, where certain things will be allowed in the sake of like making a good game or whatever, and now putting it as a TV show. So like, it means like cultural significance, like it means more to respect the culture that you're pulling from in a movie or in a film setting kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I hope that they hire the right people, because like certain things might be passed off in a video game as not seen, like, oh, they were doing this to make it to make the game more accessible or whatever, right? Yada 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 or whatever. Because I know that there were certain things about Ghost of Tsushima, and now I haven't read up on it. I saw that there was an article speaking about like its what it pulled from the culture and what it didn't.
Mhm.
So I feel like the right people involved, like this is a very precious IP, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like it's very, it can be really good, or it can be so bad in a really bad way, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I hope that, but this is again Sony. This is a Japanese company. I feel like they're gonna hire the right people to make this a good movie. Like it would make sense.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know if I wanted a Ghost of Tsushima movie right away, just because I feel like there's so many other franchises. Like we don't even have a second Ghost of Tsushima game, but we're getting a movie. Where it's like there's a lot of other franchises that I would like to see on the big screen before then.
Before facts. Seems like like what's like yo, because I'm tired of this bullshit of rushing out so many PlayStation IPs to the theaters, man. Like to me, it's just like we've gotten Uncharted, we've already slated Twisted Metal, we've already slated what I'm saying, God of War, we've already slated like a bunch of franchises. Like they're getting really aggressive with this, and I'm just like slow down. Slow down. You don't need to push out all these joints to make some PlayStation Cinematic Universe already, bro. Trust me, there's enough of that. Just take your time with making the pictures that seem really, really good for people. And I just feel like it's really early out the gates for Ghost of Tsushima, because again, the game came out 2 years ago. The game only came out 2 years ago, so it's like really, really sudden, honestly. But I will say, it is one of the best narratives over the past few years in terms of story. A really, really cool story. A lot of really, really great fleshed out characters that just were again came across the screen really well in the games, and it it makes sense, what I'm saying, in terms of a story that you can translate to a big screen, because that seems like a really, really cool, again, action packed story. Again, the guy last of his clan, what I'm saying, trying to make some good on the world, trying to defend his homeland, and then he just comes at a clash, has an internal struggle between his morals and the system that he grew up in and whatnot. Has the makings of a really, really dope movie. But in terms of the pecking order for other franchises, maybe it could have been pushed a little bit back. In terms of the appointments, have no problems with Takashi Dosher taking up the role. It seems like again a pretty good fit for it. Chad Stileski, again, that was probably again the older news, but I really like that because action sequences and John Wick just go together. So I'm like, y'all can, that's beautiful. And we know the action sequences in Ghost of Tsushima are really, really key just to how he operates. Again, just like scale, being again like parkour and scaling walls, and all these action sequences like 1v5 fights with the with swords and whatnot, doing all this crazy stuff. And that's even before him becoming like the ghost and using different tactics to get around the map and whatnot, or get around the island. There's so much action that could be involved in that movie, and I feel like again Stileski, with his work on the John Wick series, is one of those people that can bring that out in full force. So I think that's a really, really good appointment. My only thing is, we might as well go the whole way again. Just make the guy who voice acted and actually mocapped Jin Sakai, just make him the main character. I personally would just give him the same joint and just put him with maybe a slightly different cast, or maybe give him a different bit of a tonal, maybe just a slight tonal shift, not entirely, just to fit more the big screen and the adaptation. But I don't think you have to go that far to make a hoop. You don't have to again hire like the one dude from Mortal Kombat, 87 million times. You don't gotta hire, old boy to go make it happen. You have something right in front of you. Now the supporting cast could be completely different and do what you think, do what you need to do, but you don't need to cast like Tom Cruise some shit in this, bro. He's not the Last Samurai. You don't need to do it. It's right there. You don't have to look that far to make a really good adaptation. And I feel like the guy who mocapped and voice acted Jin Sakai will be a really good pick for the lead, because he is the lead. He's the damn character. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I hate to break it to you, it's surprising news, but he is that character. So I don't want Hollywood to think too hard on this. Please, let's not think too hard, because it can be a really, really good film that comes across if you just plug the right parts where they need to go. You don't need to overthink.
Yeah. And I agree. Like that, like Like I completely agree because it really depends on who you get involved that will either make this a really good movie or it's gonna come out as like for example me I kind of see it as like you guys just trying to tap into like the movie market, which I mean it's Sony, they're already into the movie market, but like you guys are trying to like move your stuff.
They're trying to put PlayStation. They're trying to aggressively force that PlayStation, module into that movie space.
Yeah, and when you involve the wrong people, you get movies that are like movies made by Sony, like Morbius, or it's like you didn't have the right people on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't want you guys. Mistakes are being made by you guys, and I don't want you guys to make the same. I want you guys to learn from yourselves. Like that's at the end of the day, learn from the mistakes that you've made.
Please learn from your mistakes, or be doomed to repeat the same event of Tyrese fake quoting a fake quote about Martin Scorsese praising your movie when in fact it was a fake. And I said fake 3 times to emphasize that it was a fake, and he still quoted it like it was real.
Oh man,
what the hell's wrong with y'all? Oh my gosh, bro, that's still the funniest joint I've ever seen, bro. Love Tyrese. Oh shoot, bro. All right, man. Let's get to the last story of the trailer trove. So after we got the big news from Monday that Discovery had purchased and merged with AT&T's Warner Media Company for about $43 billion. We are starting to get some headway and ramifications into what might be next for Warner, and particularly the DC universe. Now, from a Variety report yesterday, we got some exclusive drops that the newly named Warner Discovery are looking at options to overhaul the DCEU as we know it. Now, insider reports suggest that Warner Discovery viewed DC as lacking in coherent creative and brand strategy, go figure, despite recent successes like The Batman. Now, the report goes on to state major DC staples like Superman need revitalization. Projects like Todd Phillips' Joker are a great example of how DC's character roster should be developed, and noted the search for a creative mastermind / businessman to fit in the role similar to Kevin Feige for the MCU. So, I mean, Warner Media is now Warner Discovery, and we were potentially looking at a lot of different up changes, and overhauls for the DCEU. What are we feeling about it, man?
I feel like it's just kind of wild that like they didn't have like a figurehead to manage like the projects, kind of like Kevin Feige. And I don't even like using him as like the best. Like I'm not saying he's not good at what he does, but like I don't think it's necessary. But when you guys are trying to recreate what they're doing over at Marvel, it's just kind of wild to me that you didn't have one person sitting there like, yes, I will quality control all of it. Because when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, you get movies that are in the same universe but are very different, and they don't even really fit together well. That's why like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman vs Superman, all 3 of those movies felt like they were made by completely different, like they didn't even seem they were in the same universe outside of, as if like, oh wait, Wonder Woman's in Batman vs Superman, so she's in the same universe. That's why we know this. These movies they weren't good. They weren't good like solo movies, and then when you're telling me that they all have like this is the best, like we did these 3 so that we could do this, and then you release Justice League, you're like, man, I feel like you shouldn't have done any of this. Like
facts.
It just I don't know. You need somebody up top, and I'm sure that the executive producers, I'm sure that a lot of people had their hands in the cookie jar, like, no, we need to do this, no, we need to do this, no, we need to do this. And I think having one sole person, like, we trust this person, you go crazy, and give them like 3 movies. If in 3 movies shit isn't looking coherent, or at least let them outline this shit, give them like have a big ass plan, because Marvel will come out and they'll do like phase 6 and they'll tell you about every movie that's coming out from here till 2060, because they have a plan. They kind of know where they're going to go with things. So I just am surprised that they didn't have one person keeping track of everything, or like, you know what I'm saying, or like the quality control. I'm happy that they're taking more into consideration. I don't really like the idea of Joker being like the example. I haven't seen the Joker actually, but I'm assuming they're talking about the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, right?
Yes, they are.
I feel like that was a very standalone film, and if I'm wrong, let me know. I haven't seen it, but
you're correct. You are correct.
It's like very standalone
in a sense.
The Batman, I feel like, is less standalone because you could add shit into it, but also like I don't think that should be like
leave it the fuck alone.
Yes, like I think it should be in its own universe because of how well it developed the Gotham and the entire atmosphere. Adding anybody else to like connect to that shit would kind of ruin the whole world that it's in. I think that it should be no, because I don't even think like I don't think they've had a good movie that I would sit here and be like, this is the example of how all of your movies should be. Maybe Aquaman, but I even still feel like Aquaman was too close to the Marvel movies to really for me to be like, yeah, we need to have more of these because then it's just gonna be like DC with a Marvel spice to it.
Yeah, I, I'm in the mindset of this. Okay, now there needs to be a balance struck with Warner and with DC and DCEU. Y'all are actually bumming it, bro. Like y'all been bumming it for a long time. Let's not dismiss the fact. Much to my dismay and disappointment, you guys have been bumming it. As much as I want to see you guys succeed, you've been bumming it. And without that quarterback role, without that somebody like in air traffic control, making sure everybody's going this way and that way, you cannot make a connected universe work. You cannot do that. You have to appoint somebody at the top of the key who's going to make sure everything fits, not in a rush, but every piece is curated with enough to, again, link this to this and put this there for a satisfying natural progression into team ups, into, you know, actual the whole organizational films like the Justice League, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff like that. You never had that. You try to rush it with what's his name, Joss Whedon, and you know you made that. You made the first cut of what's it called, Justice League. And then Zack Snyder didn't really get everything that he wanted to get off, and it didn't really translate as well in certain aspects. So it's like it's hard to see that when you get in a rush. But with this new possible avenue, I need them to strike a balance. One, I believe they are going to continue down this path of having a connecting universe. I believe they will. I believe they will continue. They need to have somebody in this role who, again, who is similar to Feige in the sense that he can operate and move to connect these systems naturally and not in a rush. Because the one thing I will credit Marvel to the end of time for is that in terms of connecting stories and making sure there isn't too much rush between them and actually creating a universe that makes sense, they're masters at that. They have mastered that formula. They can pull you in and make you see things or plot things from 10 years ago that show up today. And as we told you then, y'all just didn't see it. That is really, really key. And somebody like Kevin Feige is absolutely instrumental to make an operation like that even work. That's needed. But also on the other side of that coin, you guys need to have enough balls to give the creatives and give the directives the control over their respective projects. You cannot have a situation where every movie feels the same. You have to have these lanes of projects with tonal differences. Wonder Woman can't feel the same as Batman v Superman. It can't feel the same as this next character. It can't feel the same as Blue Beetle. It can't feel the same as Flash. You can't have it under the same coat of paint because that takes all the way the beauty and the actual excitement and build up from seeing these own characters and then having them come together. If you put them on the same frame like 5 times and they're already together, you know what I'm saying? You kind of you stamp on the excitement that you get when you see them actually as a team for the first time. Again, the problem with the Justice League thing is I already jumped in. Oh, Batman's already connected with Diana, so the Justice League's already coming. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no natural. It didn't feel as, you know, naturally, oh shit, Wonder Woman was already this established badass doing her thing. She only got one movie before we saw her in the, you know, Batman v Superman. So I'm like, okay, we didn't even get enough time to really like cook on that. And whereas again, look at Marvel, they took Captain America. It took like how many Iron Mans? It took, you know what I'm saying, like two Iron Mans and all this stuff to build, and then we got everybody together. Everybody had some establishment to some degree, and then they had their rapport, they had their build with the fans. And then, okay, we see, is it coming together? It's coming together. Boom, it's there. But here's the thing. At some point, Marvel's formula got really, again, it kind of got mix and match where the tone doesn't feel too different. Now, of course, the characters in Source Material feel different, but the actual tone, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it should have enough distinction. A Shang-Chi should not feel like a Black Panther. It should not feel like this. But then again, there's some things that Disney has to hold them back and rein in on that makes it all feel a little bit, you know, mushed in the same in terms of like what you feel and what the, you know, progression of the plot is, and, you know, just general feelings towards that, and again the general overall tone of Marvel stories and how they're portrayed on screen. DC can't do that. I don't think DC has the room to do that. They need to make sure that the people they sign on to be directors, executive producers of specific films and franchises within the DC banner have to be different. Has to be different enough to do their own thing. You have to have the Batman. You have to let Matt Reeves do his thing. Do not muddy his process. Now, if you need to make an inlay in, I'm not saying do this now because I'm doubling down on my stance. Do not fuck with it. But for example, if you're planning to connect him into the DCEU, let him do his thing. But then again, try to incorporate little tidbits here and there over time that show, hey, we're connected on this front. We're on there. Something may be coming, but we're not going to rush it. In the next movie, you see him just abandon everything he was doing right there and then go have a fight with somebody. This needs to be a very curated thing where, one, we have consistency in terms of building and tidbits on everybody's movie projects, but two, you give everybody the space they need to make the movies that they want to make. There's too much time invested in us, trying to build something, even if it's not worthwhile. Stop trying to rush to unsatisfying moments when you haven't built the ingredients together for that moment. You know what I mean? They want to rush to step 17 without going through steps 1 through 5 for every franchise. You know what I'm saying? Or 1 through 16 for every franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them do what they need to do. I think we would have had a lot more success and gratitude for the moment if we let somebody like Zack Snyder do his thing in the full joint and got his full arc in without correcting stuff. You know what I'm saying? David Ayer's Suicide Squad might have actually turned out slightly better if we didn't cut out all of his parts. You know what I mean? You got to let the creatives cook. Let the creatives cook and, put your part in the mix to connect everything. That's your point. You're supposed to be a floor general. Let everybody else cook and feed everybody and, bring out the best in them, but also pull the teams together and be the glue.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like having one person who can, like, not only just, like, tell people when they're at the bottom what they need to be doing, but, like, pushing the people at the top away as well. Because that's just the issue with a lot of everybody says the same thing with these movies, is like there are just a lot of chefs in the kitchen.
Facts. Too many. And that just muddies the product, bro. Like, some people have been saying, like, yo, they like it with they like some of their movies with no, like, overarching director to connect all these things all the time because they like the complete differences. Suicide Squad, the new one that just came out, feels nothing like the Batman. And the Batman feels nothing like Peacemaker. And Peacemaker feels nothing like another series that, like that might have dropped out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're so distinct and separate in their tones, in their approaches, in everything that if you were on a stance to actually, like, okay, maybe you wanted to connect them or whatnot, it would still be pretty satisfying because you know them as separate entities in terms of tone. But yeah, it's just like you have to have the right people on board, and you have to have the right amount of space between the executives at the top of Warner Discovery and then the creatives who are coming in to make these projects happen.
For sure, I agree.
Moral of the story: get y'all shit together.
Yeah,
get y'all shit together.
It's way too late. Gosh. It's way too late. Like y'all should have had your shit together a minute ago.
Facts. I should have had a good ass Lobo movie. Y'all pissing me off, bro. Let me not even get into it, bro. I should have had it. All right, man. Let's get into the last topic of the day. This is actually a pretty interesting entry. This week we saw into one of Reddit's more famous subreddits or subgenres called AITA, or Am I the Asshole? It's basically a subreddit where people explain their situations and get justification as to whether they are or are not an asshole. And this particular post made its way onto Twitter and centered around a boyfriend who had a girlfriend curious about Elden Ring and naturally let her play some, but over time she got more and more hours into the boyfriend anticipated and even started a new game plus. She got real good at the game. She beat the game. And the boyfriend claimed the methods that she used to beat the game were in easy mode, and he's aiming to play the game the way it was meant to be played. So, wow. Interesting. How you feel about that one? I know you talked about it a little bit on Twitter. I just want to get your thoughts on it.
I think that shit is so, like, my girlfriend Panda, who I do Wotaku with, is what you would consider a gamer girl. I like to call her my gamer girlfriend because we play video games all the time. One thing that I think is very important in any relationship really is allowing people to enjoy their hobbies and shit and not trying to belittle them for shit. The thing that's so crazy to me is that if Panda were to be like, hey, you know what? I see that because in the story he talks about how Elden Ring, how the Souls games are his favorite game, but he gets upset when his girlfriend starts enjoying them. Like if Panda were to look at me and be like, "Oh, you like Metal Gear Solid, right? You know what? I'm gonna try the Metal Gear Solid games." And if she beats them or is better at those games than I am, or even if she like plays them and thinks they're stupid, that is still her showing some kind of interest in your hobby. And that motherfucker is so much the asshole. I honestly wish they break up. Like I never wish that on people, but I really hope she finds that's a lie. I wish it on people all the time. I hope she finds somebody way better, because that shit is like, imagine sitting there like, hey, that's the game that you like. I'm gonna try it out. She does it, and then you literally look at her and you're like, ew, are you fucking high, you moron? You don't deserve a person to share in your hobbies, because it doesn't sound like you want people to share in your hobbies. And this is the biggest issue I always have with the Souls community. And it's not just the Souls community, because there's a lot of other gatekeeping.
It's a lot of communities.
Yeah, there's a lot of gatekeeping ass communities, and it's just like, what? Like, how can you not see that you're the asshole in the situation? It doesn't make any sense.
It's wild. I'm just like, yo, how in the hell? Yeah, how did you get this far in the post without stopping? But yeah, that's probably me. That's probably me, guys.
I'm probably the
I should
asshole.
probably just let me just delete this. To TLDR, I salted myself. Let's get out of here. But he did not. This man, apparently for the post, 28 years old. This man almost 30 and has 30. no amount of self-awareness from this post. Like zero amount. This man was like, yo. He was like, yo, she's using magic. It's like easy. It's like, it's not even hard. Like, nigga, it's in the game, so it's a mechanic. It's not easy mode. It's the game. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're a loser. You're a loser. Like, it's just that baffled me. It's like, yo, and he's trying to explain this rationally. I'm like, bro, there is no rational in that situation, bro. You're being an idiot. Yeah. Your girlfriend actually took interest in something that you like to do specifically. You know what I'm saying? Okay, she plays games on and off, but not really. And then she took an interest in a game that you really, really love, bro. You should be happy. You should be rejoicing. And not even that. Just because you're working and she got more hours to play than you should be even more happy. Let her get you up to speed on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe if you don't want to be spoiled, let her know. Maybe she can help you. I don't know. Maybe be like, a rational human being instead of a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? That tries to take precedence and superiority over everybody who plays games that you like. Like, maybe that could be a good alternative. Like, stop being a dickhead. Yeah. Like, yeah, I do not wish that. I don't care enough to talk about other people like that, honestly. Well, for the most part. But for you, my friend, you gotta really, you know what I'm saying, go find worse people. You know what I'm saying? I hope she goes on to greener pastures, because if you acting like a dickhead over a game that you like, and the fact that she just used magic spells, and you say, oh, you didn't play the game for real, you didn't beat it, you're on New Game Plus for no reason. Like, you are an idiot. You are stupid as hell, bruh. And I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you deserve to be alone for that one, dog. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not forever, but for a little while, just think of your actions and realize how much of a dumbass you are. That's just me, though.
It's just stupid. And like, I think this game is amazing. Game of the year, probably. But like, the amount of like, is this what happens when we finally get a good game? Like, do we act this fucking weird about shit? The answer to that, it's a rhetorical question. No, normal people don't act this fucking weird about these games. But it's like, I just like, I see shit like this all the time and think to myself, like, we don't deserve this game. If this is how you guys are gonna act, like, why? When this game came out, it should have been a lot of like, if a good Metal Gear Solid game came out, or like a good Kingdom Hearts game came out, like one that is like great for newcomers. A lot of people would be like, you should definitely try it out. You should definitely play. Or if like a new Battlefield came out, that like, I'll be like, yo, you should definitely get on it. You should all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would include people into the franchise. And the fact that this is the most,
expand it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, more people to experience what you're experiencing.
The fact that this is like the first big the first big Dark Souls game, the most popular Dark Souls game, and all you guys have been doing is trying to get less people to play it. It makes absolutely no sense to me, and I just don't even think you guys deserve the franchise at this point if you're going to be pushing people away. Like, it doesn't make sense that you're like, I want him to make more games, but I want him to make less money because I don't want people to play it. It makes no sense.
Yeah. This is just another prime example of gamers are not good people, bro. A lot of you are not good people. And I just need y'all to really take that to heart. A lot of you are not good. Just because you play games does not make you a good person.
Yeah.
Like it ought to be like, please, let's get that, like, run that right back through your head one more time. Looking back at the post, this man said in parentheses, "Oh, that's fine. I was actually not spoil too much if she got ahead because she was playing more than him." And she was like, and he said, "Though I secretly thought she'd give up early on." You already downplaying her in your head, bro. You're like, yeah, she probably gonna suck ass at the game and give it up, bro. You already dismissed her like gaming skill and enjoyment of the game, or persistence, for one. And then two, after he asked her how she beat the game, she was like, "Okay, I use magic, I use NPCs for the summoning and stuff like that, and I probably got some other players to come in and help me out." Again, that's the mechanics that are in the game, so you beat the game. It is what it is. And then he literally said verbatim, he said, "This made a lot of sense to me," and I laughed and said, "Well, that explains it. I don't think you'd have managed without that help." Wow, like, damn. You just like, you really exposed yourself, bro. You really said, "Yo, I don't believe in you. I never believed in you, and I thought you would have gave that joint up a minute ago." Like, that's crazy. You're saying this to your girlfriend. You're saying this to your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is just a natural thought. He wasn't even like joking or anything like this. This is just a natural occurring thought for him. Like, yo, she's not good enough to play any of these games. I'm probably gonna have to step in and like help her or whatever. She's gonna give up, and I'll just do whatever my joint is. Like, this dude,
that's her support system.
Pain. That's her support system.
Like, that's what's sad. Like, that's
dog.
her support system, is this guy who doesn't believe that she can play this game. Like, when Panda tells me, like, because she doesn't have any interest in the Elden Ring games or like fighting games in general, I just tell her the same shit. Like, all you gotta do is just practice. Like, I never brought up Guilty Gear because it's a pretty complicated game once you get to the higher levels.
Yeah.
But like, I never sat there and said, "Oh, I don't think you can do it," or like, "I don't think you're gonna be good at Apex," or whatever. Because
facts.
At some point you have to understand who you're dealing with. You're not dealing with like somebody you don't care about. This is like your partner. When the PlayStation turns off, or when Elden Ring stops getting updates, when you've beat it 1,000,000 times, this is the person who you're gonna spend or hopefully it will still be in your life in some capacity.
Facts.
And the fact that you're looking over to them and being like, "Yeah, you're not good enough for this," is insane. Like, it is astronomically insane that you can't. If you think that she can't beat Elden Rings, I can't even begin to imagine what else you think she cannot do.
Now, and I also forgot. Let's just look at how he started off the entire post. Let's just say this. He said, some context. My partner, 26 female, isn't really into proper video games. She mainly plays games on Switch, like Animal Crossing or Breath of the Wild. That first sentence right there, we gotta stop.
It's insane.
So Animal Crossing and Breath of the Wild are not proper games, and the Switch is not a proper game platform. That's crazy to me. That you already started off with a red flag, bro. Just cause you play some Torture Olympics ass game like Elden Ring, that makes you a proper gamer? You a bum ass nigga. You're a loser, bro. You're a loser. You are honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, military grade loser. You suck, bro. I'm sorry, dog. How you gonna discredit somebody for playing Animal Crossing and Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wild is literally regarded as one of the greatest games of all time by so many different people. One of the greatest games of this generation, like, most likely. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Elden Ring is described as Soul's Breath of the Wild. Like that. So
literally, like, that's the same parallel, bro. How can you say that and in the next sentence, I'm a huge fan of Souls-like games and have been waiting for Elden Ring for absolutely ages? How can you say that in your head? The lack of awareness is baffling. And I must end my case by saying again, gamers are not good people. And they do not automatically equate. Please. Stop this madness. Just know, a lot of y'all some losers, bro.
That's fact.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's crazy. That's what the absolute lack of awareness makes me laugh sometimes, bro. That's insanity. That is insanity.
A lot of people do not deserve gamer partners because y'all don't know y'all don't know how to
facts.
Because you think gamer partners are just like gamers and your partner, like it's a completely different like avenue. The shit that you say to your teammates or your randoms, you cannot say to your partner because
and by extension, I don't even think you should be saying that to your teammates, bro.
Yeah.
People you rock with.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you can't play that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of stupid shit is that?
cool,
You gonna
bro.
tell somebody you know and probably regard as a friend, hey yo, yeah, you can't. You probably gonna fail at that, bro.
You're an asshole.
Like, what type of support system is that? Yeah, you've completely proved. You don't even. You could have just posted the first sentence alone, and then I would have marked off the whole situation automatically, bro. Bummies, bro. I gotta, yeah. One more time for the people at home, in case you forgot. Just because you're a gamer does not make you a good person. That's all I got, man. That's all the topics for today, bro. Oh my goodness, man. When any more closing thoughts, any stories you might have missed? What are we potentially lacking?
Nothing crazy really. Like the only other things were like very small stories, like Capcom releasing like a fighting game collection of like their old titles, which is cool, but like it's very niche games that like people are like, oh cool, the vampire games that we love from from way back in the day, but it wasn't like not Kingdom Hearts, it wasn't Marvel vs. Capcom or anything like that. It was just like, oh cool, like old fighting game. Nothing crazy really, because again, we're not really gonna see much until like maybe next month, maybe. Like honestly, I feel like the biggest announcement outside of Kingdom Hearts was No Man's Skies. We might see more games getting updated and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's gonna be they're ramping up for the big announcements.
Facts. It's kind of turning up, man. It's kind of turning up for real. But yeah, I have no major thoughts or any stories that we're lacking from this week. I don't think, you know what I'm saying, any major ones that we've seen. Yeah. There might have been a couple ones, like some dude what's it called? Some dude like bought an NFT for like 2.9 million and got like 3,600 back, and I was laughing my ass off at that shit. That was funny. But aside from that, man, that's all I got, man. Any closing notes before we get up out of here?
Stay hydrated, stay safe, and play some video games. Play No Man's Skies.
Feel that. My closing thoughts are, make sure you guys keep up with us on all social platforms. You know what I'm saying? For YouTube, Wotaku channel, WOTAKU channel on YouTube. One Easy on all other social platforms. That man Tripp on all social platforms. No Cooldown Pod on Twitter. You can look up No Cooldown on all audio platforms. Spotify, not SoundCloud. I'm about to say we're not trying to drop a mixtape yet. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Anchor. You know what I'm saying? And Google Podcasts. Make sure y'all drop in there, you know what I'm saying? Drop us our rate if it's available on that platform. Give us 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get up all, you know what I'm saying, get up in them stack rankings and all stuff like that. Yeah. And again, one more time, in case you didn't hear it, just because you're a gamer does not make you a good person. So try and focus on being a good person this weekend. We love you. We'll see you next week for episode 19. And No Cooldown is out of there. Boom. Record it. Jay, fuck you. How you get out of the gate and say, Jay, fuck you. Nah, bro. You were seeing it in your dreams, bro. You saw it in your dreams. Fuck the Mario movie.
It's that I don't know when we'll ever hear about that, honestly.
Bro, I think it's gonna be honestly end of the year. We'll see a trailer like just pop out the blue at the end of the year.
Maybe.
I really believe that shit. But yeah, fucking insane. Wow, Sora became a K-pop star and the people lost their mind.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, bro. Me included, nigga. Yeah, bro. You about to be in there with GOT7 and shit, nigga. I'm lit. I don't give a fuck. I'm lit, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. Oh, my goodness. All right, man. Who are you throwing the raid to? Because I am hungry as
yeah, I might throw it to Struggle.
Oh yeah, I gotta go drop 2,000 in that collection plate, bro. He gotta unmask.
Right, let me do a start raid.
I need to see. But yeah, man, we living, bro. Shout out to everybody that's coming through. You gonna be live this weekend or not?
I will be. I don't know if I'm gonna be live this weekend. I don't know if Charles wants to do anything this Sunday, because I think Charles wants to stream Tiny Tina, but I won't be able to do it. Won't be able to do it tonight, but maybe this weekend.
Yeah, I'm down to do it this weekend as well. Yeah, Sunday I should be like mostly free. I I might come spin the block tonight, honestly, if everything is everything and I could possibly finish my taxes. Also, do your taxes, bro. I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, do your taxes.
You know what I'm saying? Do your taxes, people. Do not Wesley Snipes this because they will get on your ass and you're not him. You're not Blade. You're not gonna be able to survive that. So yeah, do your taxes. Yeah, I'll definitely be on tomorrow. Just streaming something. I'll probably try and do a longer stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
Edit some afterwards, and then yeah, Sunday I'm gonna be free. So if you want to run Tiny Teams, we'll do that.
All right, you guys.
Say less.
It's been real. We'll catch you guys next time. Wotaku.